Tea Biz Podcast delivers tea news that you need to know. A recap of the week's major headlines with commentary and cultural trends hosted by Dan Bolton. It is the voice of origin for tea professionals and enthusiasts worldwide.
Tea nourishes and inspires. It is an ancient plant-based medicine that simultaneously heals and energizes the body as it soothes the mind. Making fine tea is a blend of artistry and craftsmanship. The $200 billion tea trade is fundamentally local, yet exerts global influence, employing millions to enhance the well-being of all. Hello, everyone. Here are this week's headlines. Good riddance, El Niño. Beware, La Niña. Tea sales globally are projected to slow, and African tea stakeholders sign a pact to combat child labor. Plus, winners of India's Tech Brew Hackathon are announced. India's Tocklai Tea Research Institute in Jorhat announced this week the winners of a Tech Brew Hackathon competition hosted on International Tea Day. With their innovative solutions, the winning students receive 50,000 rupees for tackling their choice of 5 industry challenges. Teams from 20 universities participated in submitting projects that address tea waste, marketing and promotion, pest control, and climate change. Judging was by a panel of 9 tea industry experts. The top 3 teams are Team Orthodox, representing the Assam Science and Technology University, with a novel non-chemical pest control solution. The second prize goes to Team Neurolingo at the PSG Institute of Technology and Applied Research in Coimbatore for designing an integrated weather and crop health monitoring system. Team Doodle, also from PSG, proposed a network of sensors that monitor plant conditions for growers, signaling areas of concern. A resource website with a chatbot informed by machine learning AI will assess their concerns and suggest remedies. Hear the winning project described by Team Orthodox members later in the program. More in a minute, but first, this important message.
What makes a perfect cup of Ceylon tea? The perfect cup is from the tea businesses that ensure the protection of all the children living within their tea estates. We salute Kailani Valley, Telawakili, Bogawanthalawa, Harana, and Elliptia tea estates. Support Save the Children, Sri Lanka.
The El Niño weather oscillation of the Pacific Ocean, known as ENSO, is rapidly ending as the cooler La Niña pattern begins, but that will not necessarily bring relief to tea-growing regions worldwide. The 3 most impacted regional tea hotspots are in Africa, India, and China, and all 3 report a continuation of the year-long stretch of record-high temperatures. May's average temperature again set a record for the month and continued the string of 12 monthly record-setting average highs. According to research published in the Journal of the American Meteorological Society, quote, tea production is influenced more by the cold phase than the warm phase of ENSO, whereas the warm phase greatly influences rainfall. Productivity and tea quality declined during both climatic events. A shortage of water and high temperatures during El Niño primarily reduced crop growth. In contrast, excess rainfall during La Niña reduces the capacity of tea pluckers, increases labor and maintenance costs, and lowers tea quality. The European-based Copernicus Climate Change Service said the average global temperature for the 12 months that ended in May was 1.63 degrees Celsius, about 2.9 degrees Fahrenheit, above the pre-industrial average, making it the warmest such period since record-keeping began in 1940. Meanwhile, the World Meteorological Organization reports an 80% likelihood that the annual average global temperature will temporarily exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels for at least one of the next 5 years. The global near-surface temperature will be between 1.1 and 1.9 degrees Celsius higher than the 1850-1900 baseline, beating 2023, the warmest year recorded. Quote, in 2015, the chance of such a breach was near zero, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said in a speech marking World Environment Day on June 5th. Guterres called for a global ban on fossil fuel advertising. He says a 30% cut in fossil fuel production by 2030 is necessary. Sales of tea globally are slowing, according to market research firm Global Data. In a newly released report, Global Data estimates a decline of 4.8% in the compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of overall value sales for tea from 2024 to 27. According to the report, overall sales will reach $72.5 billion in 2027. Tea sales surged during the pandemic in its aftermath, rising to a 7.8% CAGR between 2021 and 2024. The 60-year average growth rate for tea is estimated at 2% per year. Global Data compiled statistics from 13 major tea markets in the report. These include the US, the UK, China, India, Germany, Sweden, Brazil, Argentina, Australia, Singapore, South Africa, and the UAE. Quote, across most non-alcoholic beverage categories, Global Data predicts a slowdown in the CAGR of overall value sales among 13 key countries studied in the report. This global decrease in predicted sales can be attributed to consumer cutbacks in the wake of inflation. Inflation around the globe is expected to fall in the coming years. Consumers have become more spending savvy and are looking to make the most out of their budgets, coupled with the more adjusted pricing, which will bring value growth closer to volume growth again, end quote, writes Just Drinks, a publication owned by parent Global Data. In the UK, tea sales increased 12.3% between 2023 and 2024, despite volume sales declining by 1.6%. The US is similar, with value growth estimated at 7.4%, but lagging volume growth of 3.8%. In the US, however, tea marked the highest volume growth in the last year of all non-alcoholic beverages in the Global Data survey. Tea stakeholders in Kenya, Uganda, and Malawi signed a communique on May 30th identifying best practices for reducing child labor and preventing forced labor. Representatives attending the Innovative Solutions to Reduce Child Labor and Forced Labor Forum in Naivasha, Kenya, described the Tea Triangular Agreement as a practical exchange of knowledge and good practices focusing on the tea industry, a crucial economic pillar susceptible to child labor due to its extensive supply chains and significant employment potential. The communique is based on a study revealing the pervasive issue of child labor within the tea industry. Quote, global estimates indicate a disturbing increase in child laborers from 152 million in 2016 to 160 million in 2020, with a marked rise in sub-Saharan Africa due to systemic inadequacies, poverty, and educational barriers, end quote. The release, distributed by the International Labor Organization, says the communique, quote, reflects a comprehensive approach to eradicating child labor, emphasizing the importance of continuous knowledge exchange, the enhancement of interagency cooperation, and the cultivation of socially responsible and ethical tea production practices. The specific strategies that were discussed include optimizing value chains, especially for small-scale farmers, and ensuring compliance with international standards in tea production, end quote. Key provisions include an annual exchange marking the progress of participating countries to facilitate ongoing engagement in the global fight against child labor, particularly in the tea sector. An online digital resource library for sharing documents, analysis, and strategies proven successful in combating child labor. A unified communications campaign to coordinate awareness. The campaign will be aligned with global observances like the World Day Against Child Labor and International Tea Day. And finally, government-level coordination is needed to implement strategies, with the International Labor Organization providing leadership and support through its ACEL African Secretariat. The ILO release said the initiative aligns with the South-South and Triangular Cooperation SSTC principles, emphasizing mutual benefit, respect for national sovereignty, and development effectiveness. As the partnership progresses, it aims to serve as a model for similar collaborations worldwide, proving that shared challenges in child labor can be effectively addressed through shared commitments to sustainable development and social justice. Next, Arvinda Anantharaman in Bengaluru reports on this week's India Tea News.
India Tea News for the week ending June 7th, 2024. The big news this week from Indian tea is that Iran, one of India's big markets for tea, has suddenly halted imports of tea and rice from India. No reason was given. All the government officials have been quoted as saying this could be a retaliatory response as India stopped imports of kiwi and peaches from Iran. Another point raised was that Iran wants India to restart buying oil. The Mint reported that Iran's rice imports for April to September 2023 stood at a little over $640 million, while tea imports for January to September 2023 stood at $66.39 million, and that's valued just second to the UAE. So the tea bodies are now waiting for responses from Iran on the actual reasons for stopping imports so they can fix the issue. On the topic of food safety, which is dogging the Indian tea industry, this week representatives from the Northeastern Tea Association have submitted a memorandum to the Assam State Agriculture Minister with an appeal to prohibit the stock, sale, and distribution of 6 pesticides. That includes cypermethrin, fipronil, and acetamiprid. These pesticides are banned for tea. The association has said that testing of teas has shown above and moral values that indicate the use of these chemicals in tea cultivation. The association has also said that these 6 pesticides contribute to much of the problems attached to the lack of food safety compliance. And lastly, Kangra tea industry is awaiting some interventions from the state government to revive and promote their tea industry. In recent years, the land and the tea cultivation, therefore the crop, have both dropped significantly as tea cultivation is losing its viability. In fact, 3 of the 4 government factories also remain closed. The association has asked for revival of these factories and for greater support, particularly in increasing tea tourism opportunities for the state, not unlike what West Bengal has done for Darjeeling or Assam has done for the state.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Nish. I grew up in an organic tea farm and founded Nepal Tea Collective in 2016. Tea is not just a beverage for me, but a catalyst for social change, sustainably empowering hardworking artisans like my parents for the past 30 years. I'm on a mission to make the whole world aware of the goodness of Nepali teas and the good that comes from supporting growers in this remarkable land. If you haven't tasted Nepali teas yet, you're missing out. Our award-winning teas are making headlines. Find out why. Visit Nepal Tea Collective's website to get a free sample of this extraordinary taste of the Himalayas. That's nepalteacollective.com. Or just send me an email at nish, Nish, at nepalteacollective.com. Cheers.
The Tocklai Tea Research Institute in Jorhat, India, has named the winners of a Tech Brew Hackathon competition hosted on International Tea Day. For their innovative solutions, the winning students receive 50,000 rupees for tackling a choice of 5 industry challenges. Teams from 20 universities participated in projects addressing tea waste, marketing and promotion, pest control, and climate change. A panel of 9 tea industry experts judged the projects. Two engineering students attending Assam Science and Technology University are the winners of the Tech Brew Hackathon sponsored by the Tocklai Tea Research Institute. The students designed a drone-mounted hyperspectral imaging eye that roams tea gardens searching for indications of pest infestations. Suspended below the drone is a smoke chamber that delivers natural fumigants that pests avoid. Fumigating crops with low-hanging smoke is an ancient, effective, and non-chemical method of driving pests away. In this segment, winning team leader Pragyan and Deka narrates how his modern spectro-smoke generator heats ferns and grass with electrically controlled nichrome wire, producing a downward-driven column of smoke that rises to the underside of leaves and drives away pests like the tea mosquito, one of several insects that have reduced yields in India by an estimated 147 million kilos a year.
Hello, myself Pansin Brahman. I am pursuing mechanical engineering from Jorhat Institute of Science and Technology.
Myself Pragyan Deka. I'm an engineering undergraduate from Jorhat Institute of Science and Technology. And the problem statement that we have chosen is problem statement number 3, which is non-chemical approach to pest management.
In tea cultivation, pests like mosquitoes, caterpillar, and flies pose a significant threat to the delicate tea leaf. Now, in order to defend that, in earlier time, smoke or fumes created from burning meat or vegetable fern or other weed plants. Now, it was an effective solution, but now it is replaced with chemical pesticides like chemical pesticides. Now, our choice of convenience, what our old tradition, has left us with soil degradation and death. Technology is mainly the evolution of our old. That is what we will try to do in our ITI from stream also now. Now the solution is to predict as well as prevent pest infestation. Now for the prediction part, we will be using hyperspectral technologies that will monitor the pest area in the plant. For the prevention part, we will be using drones with smoke generating technology.
The fumes created by plants like neem, vegetable ferns, and some other weed plants can effectively repel mosquitoes. The abundantly available plants can be collected, shredded, and compressed inside a heating container. The container, heated by a nichrome wire element, emits heat when current passes through it, hence producing the necessary fumes.
The wires for the heating element will connect to the battery, and this will typically the temperature of the heating element will be around 100 to 150 degrees Celsius. Generally, this will be more than enough to light the pest plants inside the box. Now it will not light the plants on fire because there will be insufficient oxygen. Because as you can see, there are not many holes. We have made the box in such a way that there will be insufficient oxygen supply. That is why smoke will be created, and these smokes will be propelled downwards by the downward thrust of the drone, and this will help the smoke to be dissipated all around the field. So this is the first prototype. As you can see, the smoke generator is mounted below, and the drone is equipped with a flight controller as well as a GPS module. Now in our next version, the drone will be mounted with a hyperspectral camera as well as some other sensors that will help it drive autonomously. This version has a max payload capacity of around 2 kg.
The drone will be equipped with various sensors like IR sensor and LiDAR for obstacle avoidance. And the GPS combined with the flight controller software will give it fully autonomous capabilities.
Our solution involves in 2 stages. In the first stage, we will use drones that are equipped with hyperspectral cameras, and the drones will automatically cover the plantation area using our algorithm. Next, the spectral data that is collected will be analyzed by machine learning models, and the spectral signatures of the crops can be used to predict pest infestation. The next stage will involve drones using smoke generators to deal with the pest without having any chemical interference. There's a huge commercialization potential of our project because according to TRA, crop loss due to pest infestation is around 147 million kgs per year, and in revenue it is around rupees 2,800 crores per year. So we can come up with two business models. In the first one, there is a service-based business model where we will charge tea garden owners for regular monitoring and insights. In the second business model, we can act as a consulting firm where we will help to interpret the spectral data and recommend necessary actions that need to be taken to deal with the pest infestation.
Developing the first prototype costed us around 15,000 rupees. Now our cost assumptions for the minimal viable product is shown in the screen. As you can see, the initial cost is a bit high, but the operating cost is minimally low. That is what makes it feasible for commercial applications like rental, leasing, subscription, and trading, etc.
Intrigued by what you heard in today's podcast? Would you like to learn more from our global network of Tea-Biz journalists and tea experts? Remember to visit the Tea-Biz website for more comprehensive coverage. That's www.t-biz.com. Thanks for listening. Farewell till next week.
Produced by Adavita Studios. Connect your voice to the world.